Lafayette is in Virginia, away from Cornwallis, just shadowing him, keeping an eye on him. And like you said, waiting for Washington to tell him what to do concerning the next move. Okay? Well, this is kind of interesting. In August of 1781, Armistead uncovers a British secret plan that has the potential to change the course of the Revolutionary War. He's in camp, he's listening to Cornwallis and his officers, and he hears specifically a secret plan that will be good enough information that it may lead to a change in the course of the war in the favor of the Americans. Now think about Cornwallis and what position he's in. What does he need as he regroups? Supplies. He's a long ways from those supply lines in the south. Well, where's he going to get his supplies? Through a very good. Through a British fleet that's stationed where? Where are they anchored right now? In New York Harbor. Very good. So here's the thing. The British, what Armistead finds out, that the British are looking for a deep water port that would accommodate the British fleet. Why would it need to be deep water, Wyatt? Because they are big ships. And they're going to bring supplies from New York. If you look over here, they're going to bring supplies from New York around here into Virginia. Okay, they're going to come from New York Harbor, which is right here, around here to Virginia. Okay, that's the plan. And what Cornwallis is looking for is a deep water port. Okay? Well, he discovers that the best deep water is the port town of Yorktown, Virginia. Yorktown has a really nice harbor, and they got really deep water in which the British fleet can come in and bring them their supplies. Armistead's listening to all this, that they're looking for a deep water port to accommodate the British, that the British fleet that are stationed in New York Harbor are going to bring these much needed supplies to Cornwallis's troops. And Cornwallis discovers and makes it clear in his meetings that the port town of Yorktown would provide the best deep water for these British ships. Well, Armistead passes that information on to his spies, who pass it on to who? Lafayette. And when Lafayette receives this information through Armistead, through the slave spies, who does he report it to in New York? Washington. So now Washington knows what the British are going to do. They're going to stand fast in Yorktown and wait for what? British fleet with supplies. Now this is totally by coincidence. The French had sent us soldiers, but they had not sent us any ships yet. Well, it just so happened that 28 French ships were heading to America to provide assistance. Guess where they were scheduled to port? Yorktown. Just by coincidence. That's where they were going to come in and provide more assistance to the American colonists. So, as Cornwallis is planning to bring the British fleet from New York Harbor into Yorktown to bring supplies, here comes these French ships from France, and their destinated location to end is Yorktown as well. Just by coincidence. 28 French ships are heading to America to provide assistance, and they're going to dock at Yorktown. So, Washington's thinking, we got a perfect opportunity to set a trap. Okay? Here's Yorktown. Washington's going to come down with troops, with Lafayette. The harbor is going to be here. What's he want those French ships to do? Get in the harbor, and which way would Cornwallis have to escape? No way. He's going to be trapped by land, and he's going to be trapped by sea. That's the plan. So Washington gets this information, and he prepares a plan to set the perfect trap for Cornwallis and the British soldiers. The French Navy is scheduled to arrive before the British fleet comes south, just by coincidence. And basically he's going to use the French Navy to block any escape by Cornwallis by water, and he's going to march his men south from New York into Virginia. He's going to settle up with Lafayette, and they're gonna trap them at Yorktown, have a final stand. Now, a majority of the British troops in America are with Cornwallis, so this is really gonna be a big knockout punch if they can pull it off, okay? Now, this battle at Yorktown may decide the Revolutionary War. As I mentioned, the victory at Yorktown for the Americans will defeat half of the British forces in America in one swoop. Now, how's this plan only work, kiddos? Only works if two things happen. One, there is going to happen. The French fleet is going to get there. Well, what's the only way this works? Well, not yet, but even to engage him, how's this plan on Washington going to work? Only way it's going to work is if what? Well, the French are going to get there on time.
The British,
if the British what?
they have to get into reports before.
Well, where are the British right now?
New York.
They're going to, well, just a second. Where is Cornwallis and his folks?
Virginia.
Okay, and where are they heading to because of the deep port?
Yorktown.
Okay, and they're going to get to Yorktown. This plan only works if they stay there, right? If for some reason they would leave Yorktown, would the plan be off? Yeah. Well, there might be a little bit of a problem. We talked about intelligence. You don't think that Cornwallis has people out looking around, paying attention? Does he wonder if someone's shadowing him? Well, sure he does. So he sends out his surveillance, and he finds out through surveillance, that Commander Lafayette and American troops have been shadowing them. He finds out that information. What doesn't he know, Budge?
That they're his slave list.
Well, not that, but he doesn't know the number, total number. He doesn't know what he's up against, right? So, picture this. General Cornwallis is going to make the decision whether or not to attack Lafayette's troops. And they're not located in Yorktown. So if he goes and attacks Lafayette's troops, is he going to stay in Yorktown? Is the plan going to work? No. Now Lafayette has about 4,000 men. The British have, Lafayette has 3,200 men. The British have 8,000 men, so they almost outnumber them by 4,000. So this is not good for Lafayette, right? But Cornwallis does not know exactly how many men Lafayette has. So Cornwallis decides he may attack Lafayette's troops, which are located away from Yorktown. In addition, the British Army outnumbers Lafayette's men by nearly 4,000, about 8,000 to 3,200. And if the Americans are going to win that victory at Yorktown, somehow General Cornwallis is going to be needed to convince to stay there. Okay, who's going to step in?
Armistead.
Armistead. Okay, and we'll tell you that story tomorrow. So picture in your mind, Cornwallis is just about to take off. Just about to take off. But he wants to get a little more surveillance, so he's going to send James Armistead to check out what? The numbers, right? The numbers. Okay?